Welcome to IdeaMix Performance and Wellness, where world-leading coaches and scientists explain how their research can help you achieve your personal and professional goals faster.
Hi, it's Sandra Yanti, co-founder and CEO of IdeaMix Coaching. Coaching's played an important role in my life. It's helped me through my journey to become a powerful leader, mother, and wife. IdeaMix coaches help you increase your self-awareness, improve your problem-solving skills, and evolve your habits to achieve your goals. All things I'm grateful to have learned and done through my own coaching journey. Our easy 1-minute assessment matches you with an IdeaMix coach that best fits your needs and values. Each IdeaMix coach is vetted and experienced and helps clients map and achieve their wellness, professional, and business goals. If you or someone you know could benefit from coaching, visit our website at www.theideamix.com. We also know that not everyone can invest in coaching right now, and that's why we provide free coaching in our Coach Shorts episodes. If you think someone you know would benefit from it, please share our podcast with them. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Welcome to Coaches to Know, a podcast short designed to help to demystify coaching and help you, our audience, understand coaching and how it can help you. I'm your host, Jamie, and today I'm here with Coach Maura to talk about the DISC assessment. Coach Maura has been coaching for nearly 15 years. She works at the intersection of business and culture, particularly in international people strategy and management consulting. She has spent 12 years living and working outside of the US. And in addition to her international experience, she holds an MBA and a degree in cultural anthropology. Her clients are culturally diverse high achievers and leaders across a range of industries, as well as entrepreneurs and young professionals who want to work on leadership style, building their confidence, and communication skills. Welcome, Coach Maura. Thank you for joining us here today. We'll just get right into it because we don't have a lot of time. So today we're here to talk about the DISC assessment. Could you please share with us what is the DISC assessment and sort of what is the assessment based on?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jamie. Very excited to be here and talk to you about this tool, which is really impactful and something that has a lot of applications. So the DISC assessment is a behavioral tool, like many, right? We know of other behavioral tools. The DISC assessment is slightly different in that it's a simple and effective way to identify inherent traits and preferences of individuals. So essentially, what is your individual style? And it's different than other assessments, for example, Myers-Briggs or the MBTI, which is more about your personality. The DISC is really looking at observable behaviors. So the DISC looks at observable behaviors that are identified for yourself. It's something that you can use to also look at behaviors and styles of others. And it can really be effective when used in relationships. So in a working group or with a team.
Amazing. Thank you for that introduction. So could you give us some of the sort of best use cases for the DISC assessment?
Absolutely. I'm actually going to start with how it should not be used.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, different ways that behavioral tools and assessments are used, but the DISC is not the best one for would be something like hiring or performance, because again, the DISC is about personal style, and we don't want to sort of penalize someone for that because it's essentially looking at your preferences. What the DISC can be used for, and is really an excellent tool for, is building your self-awareness. Again, identifying what your priorities are, your style, your preferences. And when used in a group, it can be really powerful for team building, leadership effectiveness. The DISC is something that can be used to harness trust and establish empathy, either individually or collectively. It's something that can be used as a powerful tool in conflict resolution. Again, kind of building out what it is that different people lean on, right, or kind of default to. When used individually, you can use it to talk about your personal branding. What is it that defines my style? And how does that impact how I show up in my leadership brand? And it's really effective with international collaboration, again, identifying different styles, something that can be used in developing adaptability, right, in the variable, sort of complex environment that we find ourselves in today. So quite a variety of tools, both individually, a variety of applications, both individually and collectively.
That's very interesting and amazing, all the different sort of variable use cases. I've always tended to think about DISC as something that would be great for using in a team setting, but it's actually interesting to hear about how an individual can use it to build awareness about their own style and their personal branding. Can it be used in the sense of helping an individual not just understand who they are, but in order to maybe help with behavior change? Maybe they want to develop certain preferences in certain ways?
Absolutely. So what you get when you go through the 15-minute or 15-minute, 15-question DISC assessment is essentially an identification of your preference, again, your style. So that would be D, I, C, or S, right? And I can run through that quickly and then talk about how it might tie into your personal brand. Great. So the D profile is really stands for dominance. So it's someone who's really tends to be direct, firm, strong-willed, forceful, also tends to be very results-oriented, right? So really going for it. I stands for influence. This is someone who tends to be outgoing, enthusiastic, optimistic, high-spirited, right? They're people that you know, are great in kind of a collaborative group setting to get the energy up, etc. S stands for steadiness. These are people who tend to be even-tempered, accommodating, patient, humble, tactful. Again, really important maybe when you're talking about negotiations, right, or something similar. And C is about being conscientious, right? So these people tend to be more analytical, reserved, precise, systematic, right? Great people to have when you're talking about anything analytical, process-oriented, data-driven, etc. So you can see how DISC, these different preferences, these different styles can actually be really effective and really powerful in different settings, right? In different roles, right? On different types of work or projects. And one of the key principles of the DISC assessment is that, number one, all of these are equally valuable. And number two is that everyone's a blend of all four of these styles. So what you get as a result of your preference is what can be referred to as sort of your home base, if you will, right? Your kind of default. And you are also a combination of the other preferences in there. And I think when it comes to personal brand, knowing what your home base is, knowing what your kind of default is a really important thing to raise your self-awareness so that you can make choices about how you want to show up in different settings. Because the other part of this is knowing that you can adapt and flex to the other preferences or the other styles will really help you as well, right? So if you're in a situation where you need to have a bit more tact, right? Or maybe it's something that's a really sensitive relationship, having that S, that steadiness factor go up will really help you with your brand and really help you with your performance. And similarly, if there's something that just needs to be driven through and get done and, get over the finish line, the inverse, that D component, being able to flex that is something that will also really help you and may actually support your team as well. So I think when it comes to personal brand, knowing your style, your preference, and knowing how you can adapt and flex using the other preferences and styles is really how to leverage this to increase the impact wherever you are.
That's amazing, and it's an amazing description. I love this idea that we are actually a blend of all four of these, that we have elements of that, but then you sort of just have a default, maybe like a default mode of operating. I imagine that coaching is a place where if let's say you're naturally one of these, let's say you're naturally dominant, but you need a situation where you need to slow down and be the steady presence, the green, then so is that a situation where coaching can help you sort of develop that ability to adapt?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the greatest gifts of coaching is self-awareness, Because once you become aware of your blind spots or aware of kind of different elements of your style that you maybe, don't use all the time or aren't fully kind of in touch with, you can then make different choices, or conscientious choices at least, about how you want to show up. Right. So absolutely, coaching is a way to kind of not just delve into, what is my style, but also what are the other styles here, right? How can I adapt? How can I connect in with, the different motivations, the different fears or limitations of the other styles that can benefit me and can benefit my team and those around me.
That's amazing. That's a great summary of how coaching can really support sort of that flexibility. Just one final question here, because we're almost out of time. There are a lot of different assessments out there, and one of the things that we are seeking to do is really educate our audience about the different assessments and how they can help them. So I imagine you have a wide array of choices that you could have chosen to get certified in. So why is it that you chose to get certified in DISC? What was it about this assessment that you found sort of most impactful in the work that you do?
Absolutely, you're right. There are a number of assessments out there, no shortage.
Yeah.
And they all serve a slightly different purpose. And I was drawn to the DISC. I mean, countless different assessments myself. I was drawn to DISC as kind of a starting point for my own certifications, largely because it is simple, it's fairly intuitive, and therefore it's easy to remember. You can apply it to so many different settings, and it fits a variety of different environments, right? As I said, individual, team, all the different applications that we've already touched on. And so it's relatively easy to do, and you get a lot on the back end of that, right? So that's why I wanted to go with the DISC myself. And what I have found in using it with others is that all that holds true to it over time in a coaching environment, so that it's really impactful. And in a team setting, there's a great Ben Franklin quote where he says, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn." And I think involving teams in the DISC assessment is incredibly impactful, getting them to stand up if they're together, move around, right, talk about what the implications of this are. And even virtually, I'm debriefing a team next week, and we're going to be doing breakout rooms, and we're going to be utilizing the chat and other tools, backgrounds, etc., to really involve everybody and really cement this learning. So I think the DISC is accessible, it's memorable, and it's impactful.
Wonderful. And on that note, I'm gonna say thank you, Coach Maura, for sharing your insight into the DISC assessment today. And to our audience, if you would like to work with Coach Maura or one of our other qualified coaches, please visit us at theideamix.com. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe wherever you listen and leave us a review. Find your ideal coach at www.theideamix.com. Special thanks to our producer, Martin Maluski, and singer-songwriter Doug Allen.